All right, man, let's talk about the thing that matters most to you. And this is really for someone who has just now started something, whether it's your first year in business, it might be your first, you're within your first year of losing weight, getting in shape, wanting to make more money, have a better lifestyle, improve your health, whatever it is, from income to health to mindset. If you're within your first year, this is particularly going to resonate with you. And here's what I mean by that. I want you to understand that every single person on this planet overestimates the amount that they will achieve in 1 year, right? And you're no exception. Everybody overestimates what they can achieve in 1 year, and they underestimate what they can achieve in 5 years. See, I heard my friend Tyler Bremlett share this quote a couple of weeks ago when he was speaking at one of my events, and it really resonated with me. And let me just say that again. Everybody overestimates what they can achieve in 1 year, and you underestimate what you can achieve in 5 years. And here's why. See, your first year in everything, you're new at it, right? Doesn't matter if it's business, if it's health, if it's your mindset, if it's athletics, if it's whatever. So yesterday I went rock climbing. I've never gone rock climbing before. In fact, I've got this unreasonable fear of heights. But I decided that I'm going to try this thing and I'm going to make it work. Now, got a guide, and he had all the rigs and the shoes and the ropes and everything else, the helmet. And, the very first time I started going up, and he's got the rope nice and tight so that if I fell, I'd only fall an inch, rather than falling down the side of a mountain. But I got to tell you, the very first time it felt awkward. I didn't trust the gear. I didn't trust the expensive shoes that he gave me that would grip the side of the mountain just so, and where I can push myself up. And so I had to then just go off faith in him, knowing that I paid this guy and that he knows what he's talking about. And before long, towards the end of the 4 hours, we had done 4 or 5 climbs, and each climb got infinitely more difficult, yet I felt more confident and secure and sure-footed. Now, that was just over a period of 4 hours that I was able to build up this compounding effect in experience, right, of climbing a rock. Same thing happened to me when I started surfing a couple years ago. When I first got in the water, I was awkward. I couldn't even sit up on my board, let alone stand on it. I can't tell you how many bumps, bruises, cuts I got from the water, right? Because I would just get pummeled with my board hitting me and the fin cutting me. But before long, it didn't take much long before now I can get up, find the right wave, paddle out, catch that wave and really enjoy that ride without having to really think about it, right? I can actually enjoy the ride rather than think about the process of getting up and doing it. And that's what I mean. In business, I can tell you that I started a franchise in 2010 called Fit Body Boot Camp. And when I started this franchise, I got to tell you, I knew nothing about franchising. And while we were getting about, let's say we were getting 2 or 3 people on board per week, we were losing 1 or 2 people, sometimes 3 people a week as a franchise, because we just didn't know how to operate. Now, within that first year of being in business, it was like going through hell. It was torture. It was uncomfortable. I didn't like it. There was growing pains. There was anxiety attacks. I had essential tremors. I took all types of medication to manage my stress, right? But guess what happens as you get on that other side of a year? You start getting better at things, because the knowledge and the experience and the expertise that you're building compounds faster after about 12 months, month after month, right? And so when you stick to something long enough, you just get good at it. And here's the thing, like most people, I thought that all I have to do is rig up on a rope and wear these expensive shoes that this guy's going to give me, and I'm going to be able to get up there like a spider monkey on that mountainside. Or all I have to do is get a really nice board, get in the water when the waves are decent, and I'll be able to surf in no time, right? We all think that within our first year or within our first try or 2 or 3, we expect more of ourselves, that we're going to be able to achieve more. You go into business thinking, all right, I'm going to build it and they will come. And all of a sudden, the realization hits that when you build it and you open the doors, no matter how awesome looking your business is and how great the service or the product is, they are not going to come, man. You are going to have to market. You are going to have to sell. You're going to have to follow up with leads, prospects, and clients. You're going to have to ask for referrals. You are going to have to talk to local businesses. You are going to have to figure out how Facebook and the interwebs work. You are going to have to grind it out. The 4 hours a day that you thought you were going to work on product delivery is going to end up being 40 hours a day. Where you thought you're only going to work a couple hours a week on marketing and selling, you're actually working a couple hundred hours a week on marketing and selling. That's just the nuts and bolts of life, man. You have to understand that you can't go into something thinking that you're going to kick ass right out of the gate. But I can promise you this, that if you stick with it long enough, after that first year, the experience, the knowledge, the expertise compounds so quickly that you become an expert within 2, 3, 4 years. And that now speaks to what I call the 5-year goal, because so many people underestimate what they can achieve in 5 years. And so if you open up a business, or you go on a diet or fitness program, or you want to better your mindset and mental capacity, right? What ends up really happening there is that you achieve a fair amount in that first year or two, but you don't set your goals high enough for year 4, 5, and 6 for some reason, right? When really your knowledge is at its greatest, your ability to deal with the suck factor is at its greatest, your ability to deal with adversity is at its highest. You should set higher goals for year number 4, 5, and 6, rather than having these unreasonable expectations for yourself, unrealistic expectations of yourself for the first year. Because let me tell you, there's nothing magical about you and me and our abilities where we have to think that, gee, I can open up a business or try something new and master it within the first year. You're never going to master that within the first year. But what I can tell you is if you stick with it and you keep grinding it out, you're going to end up exactly where we've ended up with Fit Body Bootcamp, our franchise. Here we are 5 or 6 years out from opening up Fit Body Bootcamp as a franchise. And today we're getting one new location open somewhere on the planet each and every day. Like, how awesome is that? Every 24 hours, we would pop open a new Fit Body Bootcamp location. And let me tell you, where the first year was a grind, we were losing money, we were overstressed. Today, after 5 years, we figured it out, the knowledge compounded, and life is so much more fun owning a franchise than it was 5 years ago. And this applies to rock climbing, this applies to fitness, this applies to business, this applies to mindset. It applies to everything. But do not overestimate what you can achieve in your first year and therefore sit back on your laurels. I want you to go in there in your first year expecting to fail and doing everything in your power as though your life depends on it, that I will not fail, that I will succeed in my first year. And you're just going to dominate and grind and outwork everybody. And when you do, the experience and knowledge you build within that first year will take it to a whole new level of success so that you can set higher and bigger goals for year number 4, 5, and 6. All right, man, I'll talk to you later.